Welcome back. Stephen Carlson, First Vice President, Janie Montgomery Scott, checking in for a Thursday, our weekly look at finance.
Yes, indeed.
Let's get right to it. First up, the governor presented his budget earlier this week. One of the big ideas is this hot spot, regional development incubators.
Yeah, this is an idea that they've gotten a great degree of traction on. They've been doing this now for years. It's the idea of taking the ingenuity, the creativity that's been out there, the chip plant coming in, all the nanotechnology, and continue to build on it. This area is cutting edge, and he wants to create an environment where we can just keep growing. So it's a really interesting idea. Yeah,
looking to foster, as you say, high-tech startups. He's going to fund this with $1.25 million. Increasing that to $5 million over the lifespan of the.
It's going to be even bigger than
model.
that. It's going to be, I think, over the next 2 years, it could be well in excess of $100 million. But the $1.5 to $5 million range is that initial seed, that starter money to get it going. Absolutely.
And obviously, the governor's hoping this is going to cash in on the success of Global Foundries, the School of Nanotech.
Yes.
Everything that's going on at RPI.
There's no doubt it's going to work. There's all sorts of interest in this. There's a lot of startups. There's a lot of small businesses that want to get into this, and I think we'll see it get a lot of traction.
In the Spa City, the city that keeps on rising, two developments that have gone before the planning board. One got approval. One has cleared a hurdle and moves on to the next step.
Yeah, the second one is the one that's off of Excelsior Park. It was started back in about 2006, and they fenced it off. And it's really interesting that they're going to get that back up and going.
Yeah,
so
that was going to be called the Lexington Club, and now it's going to be a mixed-use development. There's a picture of it that we're showing you on the screen. So this is the site. You got Route 50 to the right of the screen. It's what's the avenue? Maple Ave, I think it is, that comes down. It's
Marion.
Marion. The water plant's right by it.
Right.
So anyway, what's going to happen is the Fresh Market has already signed a lease. They're that high-end grocery store. There's one in Latham. They're going to go in one corner off the site, and then there's two other mixed-use buildings, which are retail and apartments. Of course, the continued development of Saratoga. Not as, personally, being a Spa City resident, not as nice a development that was going to go in there. It was going to be a hotel. It was going to be a conference center. It was going to be that whole section. You've got that kind of that Wilton urban sprawl now moving into the city where you've got a parking lot.
They're coming together.
The building.
Yeah, they definitely are. This, I think, has a better chance of succeeding because it's meeting some of the more real needs that are in that area. Yeah. That former idea was really more 2005-06 real estate market exploding. That's not the market that we're in right now.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, of course, with the healthy living market opening at the mall.
Yep.
And now you've got this Fresh Market. So if you need groceries in Saratoga, you're good to go because they're going to be on every corner.
And then the other corner is the one on Church and Lawrence, which is this new 3-story building that's going in. And that's, obviously in town. It's going to be a good spot. It's going to be apartments on the, I believe, the 3rd floor, but then commercial space on the bottom floor. So that's a little bit more.
On that side is the Enchanted Garden. They used to be over behind City Hall. They're the place that sells all those fancy things for your yard.
Yes.
They're already there. They're going to move into the building. I gave them a call today because I wanted to get some more details on that from last night's planning meeting. They got approval. Construction of the building is going to happen in May. They haven't got back to me yet, but stay tuned. We'll continue to follow that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, we're taking a look at the housing market. It seems like finally the housing market is starting to turn the corner, and it's going to get pretty active out there.
Sienna did this poll, and I think it's kind of got a good pulse on what's happening. This upstate New York is growing. Housing prices have stabilized. The low interest rates for mortgages are very advantageous for new home buyers. There's a lot of people moving into the area. So as I've talked to a lot of the real estate agents in Saratoga in the area, they're saying things are firming up price-wise. So if you're thinking about moving, you're thinking about putting your house up for sale, you may be a little bit of a surprise to the upside of what your house is worth.
Yeah, and people, and the flip side, people that have been sitting on money for a while saying, I'm just not going to tread the water. I'm not sure how the economy is going. Finally, things are looking good. Interest rates are still pretty low, so now's the time to buy.
Yeah, there's such a limited area to buy. There's not a lot of homes for sale in the area. So the ones that do go up, this is a little bit of a seller's market now, which is really the last 5 years has been kind of rare. So it's a good sign for growth in the area.
Just quickly before we wrap it up, MVP Healthcare.
Yes.
Announcing some layoffs. So we're talking about how the economy is getting better, but the healthcare sector, which is going to go through, I think, a bit of a transition with the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
They're announcing 68 layoffs, 41 in Schenectady. If you've ever been downtown Schenectady, that huge building with the name at the top.
Yep, absolutely. Part of this is to take advantage of the marketplace competition that is the Affordable Health Care Act. So MVP is recognizing if they're going to compete in the open market, They've got to be lean. They've got to control their administrative costs. And so this is part of that process. I think everybody's going to kind of tighten their belts and get a feel for what the marketplace is like for healthcare, and then expand. But they're just trying to come into this as lean as possible, and you know, they're a little bit ahead of the curve, which is a good thing.
All right, a bit of a lean, mean, fighting a look at finance tonight.
Absolutely.
We're out of time. Stephen Carlton.
Always a pleasure.
First Vice President of Janney Montgomery Scott based in Saratoga Springs. Now, to see our weekly finance segments, head to the website. It's looktvonline.com. We post all the information right there.